Coffee or podcast, yo, this wrong. Rob, man, Ryan taking over the mic. There are a few sports and the stories ignite. Rocking the house, we're taking flight. Turn it out loud, let's amplify. Podcast moving, reaching to the sky. Crank up the volume, here it's reunite. Join the ride, we won't deny.
G'day guys, welcome back to the show. We're your hosts. I'm Bakes.
I'm Sarge.
And I'm Croppy.
And we are the Bearded Mafia. And this is episode 68. And tonight we have a special guest, Todd from Jackalope. How are you going, buddy?
Good, mate. Episode 68, I feel like I'm one short.
Yeah. No,
I'll come back to the
still
next
kicking
one.
on. You're always welcome, you know that.
That's all right.
Next one's going to be special. We're wearing mankinis and
I reckon, yeah. Footy talk backed up with a bit of sex ed.
That's all right,
Next one we could come
That's
back
all right.
all winners.
Yeah.
We never know.
Oh, true. We could make a prediction this
All
weekend.
winners, you say?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not
Maybe three of
holding
us
out
might
too
give
much
it a
hope.
shot. I'm not sure you'll have any luck, but that's all right. So depends if you're playing North or something. I don't know.
I thought we were in a good chance to beat Melbourne, but my hopes of us winning a game this year they're not high. They're not high at all.
I'm running on the theory that I think it'd be pretty hard for an AFL side to go through an entire season without winning a game.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see where that win's going to come from at the moment. But I think it's just going to be a blinder. There's going to be an upset somewhere, and
Yeah. Well, they play Richmond this week, and anything could happen.
Yeah. Well, as I found out in round one, mate, it can happen when you play Richmond.
I was going to say.
yeah.
All right, cheers. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Mate. Appreciate it. Talking about Richmond not
that's
winning a
exactly
game
right.
all year, and then they've won in the bloody first round. So yeah.
Yeah, they haven't won a game since then, have they?
No, they beat.
They won a second game.
Yeah, they've won one. Yeah, so they won another one. But I was actually in Japan when that game was on. So
Oh, really?
I was and I managed to there was a little there's a little trick with Channel 7 because you pull up Channel 7 and it's like on the app and it's like, you're not in the country, you can't watch this, and I just went, and I just pressed X and it just let me watch it. It wasn't physically stopping me, it was just hoping for, out of the goodness of my heart that I'd stop watching. So
Yeah.
I watched the first half and then I had to go to dinner and I thought, we've got this, and came back and oh my lord.
Because you guys were in front by a fair bit.
Yeah.
At the start,
Yeah, 40 odd points up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as it turns out, I think the first 5 rounds were, playing half a game every week and looking like legends, and then, falling to pieces. So, yeah, we haven't threatened any opposition players though. I think that's if we've got any, board fans
Willie.
here, might be something like
Oh, Willie Rioli.
don't leave the.
I've got some
hotel.
friends.
No?
I've got some friends in Darwin.
Yeah. Well, he's so he
Can't
has
believe
got
that.
friends. I don't know, but don't leave the hotel. I'm not sure I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Before, but that's pretty out there. But
Yeah, I read that today. I was like, wow.
and the AFL's done nothing other than say, "Oh, he said sorry." So play nice, boys, and that's it. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No comment.
Yeah.
No comment as to why that might be.
It was like, I was reading some things today, and people were like, everyone's cracking the shits about how Willie Rioli's been getting a lot of shit. And I was like, mate, I bet if he was still playing for the Eagles, he wouldn't be getting away with any of this shit. That'd be right on his ass.
You can't do nothing. There's no player in your team that can do fucking anything. They can't even
That poor cunt,
sneeze.
his first game, he went and hit the ball, but he hit the cunt's face, and he gets a fucking 1 week. It's like, come on, give him a break. He's fucking first gamer, you cunts.
You know what's funny? You watch that whole thing and you can almost read his mind. That he's like,
you can see.
he's like, fuck, what do I do? And then he's done it and he's like, I picked the wrong fucking bit. I picked the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
poor bugger.
mate, some of the suggestions do you
AFL,
anyway.
yeah.
I saw that kid that hit the bloke that hit Toby Bedford. I don't know if you saw that, the GWS Sydney game.
Yep.
He got 3 weeks, and I sat there and looking at it and go,
Jesus.
Paul Curtis got 3 weeks the week before for a fucking tackle. And you think, how does that work?
Yeah.
You know? And you know, these players have mastered the art of, as soon as you get tackled from behind, they just throw themselves forward. So you get a bit back. And, you know, it's like they're, you know, and he's obviously done it too well and got himself concussed. But how are both of those acts 3 weeks? I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
Where one's a swinging arm, one's just a tackle.
It's insane the way the MRO has gone with footy actions and how hardly they're getting sanctioned, depending on the concussion thing. Like you can do the same thing and not concuss him, and you'll get away with it.
Yeah.
And then compared to actions that aren't naturally footy actions, like belting someone, or whether it's accidental or not.
Yeah.
It's nuts. I don't know. It's a fucking schmozzle.
It's still a contact sport. They've over fucking policed it now.
Well,
Yeah, that's right.
there was one the week prior, and I thought it was Tom Green, but I think I've got it wrong, where he's actually followed the right technique. So the ball's there, and he's got down low, he's gone to the side to protect the body, and some other bloke's just literally gone in his knees face first and has caught the guy's hip, and he gets done for it. And you sit there and think, mate, he's getting done for doing what he's been taught all through his junior years in terms of how to protect the body, how to attack the ball, and just because some moron's just gone in face first, he's the one that gets done. Like, at what point do they have to, you know, protect people from themselves? You sit there and go, if you're going to go in for the ball like that, it's like the below the knee stuff, you know. They know, that, you know.
I was going to say, who was the guy at the start of the year that got suspended for the below the knees?
Yeah.
I forgot who it was now. A young fella got suspended at the start of the year. It was round 2, I think. And like, it was, by every other account, it should have been a free kick the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking after the person who's actually attacking the ball. So it's getting the lesson, because I coach, and the lesson that these kids are getting is to wait a second. And the amount of times I see that happening, is they sit there and go, no, you've got to get in and get under it, and you're either going to come up with the ball or hopefully draw a free kick. But if you're not going to attack it, then, you know, but they're just getting a bit nervous about going in because you sit there going, I'm going to give something away. So
that makes it interesting to see what the game's going to look like in 10 years when these juniors that have been playing that way their whole lives are coming through to what the game's going to look like, to evolve to look like.
Well, I'll tell you what I see. They take their bloody 30, they stick their mouthguard in their sock. They've started doing the old Jeremy Cameron ball squeeze when they're having a shot. Boys, you've not got the strength for any of that. Just keep it free. I think what you can take from that is they copy everything everything they see. And, you know, it's my first year coaching under 15, so it's still, I've coached my boy all the way through, so he's in his first year of 15s and he'll have another year next year, but you know, they're like, it's still like herding cats, but it's, you know, they're man cats now. Now they're just full of testosterone, and they're big and they're surly, and some of them are genuinely man-sized, and it's, but watching them run around, I guess, copying what they see.
Mm-hmm.
The good and the bad. You know, the good and the bad. So,
that much has been prevalent through all kids of all grades all the time.
Yeah.
I remember when Stevie J fashioned the snap. Essentially, he was the one that was responsible for snapping the ball from anywhere, not just the boundary line.
Yeah.
Of course,
and that's, you know, kids were, that's all they did.
Yeah.
From anywhere, from everywhere.
You know what I don't like? Like in footy in general is like in AFL, to be honest, is like guns that are like 10 meters out in front and they're like doing a snap.
Yeah, snap.
So what are you doing? Fucking hell with that. It
I
annoys the fuck out of me.
I haven't seen my boys doing that, and I think they know what would happen if they did. So if they didn't miss, more than happy for them to do whatever they like as long as they kick it. But as soon as they start missing like that, that's that's obviously, as you know, I'm a sad Carlton supporter, and you know, we had the king of it with Mackay. Tried to just snap it from everywhere, and looks great until you belly the ball 10 meters out, and it's
that's right.
So,
it's gone the wrong way into the crowd.
You got bloody Kerno who tries to snap it from 45 out in the boundary, and you're just like, mate, that is a long way away.
That's a fucking huge distance to snap a footy. Now you just got to show them videos of Jason Dunstable going off at players for fucking dribbles and snaps.
Oh, the old dribble kicks. And mate, all you have to do is show them videos of Dunstable and Lockett. Like, I grew up I grew up just idolising Tony Lockett, and he had a 3-step run up, and just
He had the most perfect kicking action of anyone that's ever lived.
very sweet. And people don't. I tell to the boys, I'm like, he actually played 280 games, and he averaged something like 4.8 goals a game for 280 games. So I think
Insane.
considering for the first 20 you probably did nothing. Considering what you've done after that, it's an extraordinary record. And
Yeah. Him
then-
and Dunstall both, and the amount with Dunstall, the amount that he gave off, and the assists that he had, because he was a pretty selfless player playing in a good team too. So that's the other thing with Lockett. He played in a fucking boxy team for most of his career.
Did he what? So it was and both of them just led straight and hard, and and kick goals, and it's and then I've got I follow a team who's got a winger who gets 30 possessions a game. He's got something like 35% kicking efficiency.
Yes.
Literally, your only fucking job, mate, is to kick the footy, and you only kick it. You only do it right a third of. Imagine your job, boys. You rock up, and 2 out of 3 times you fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what he's doing, and he's getting paid like 750 grand or whatever it is. So
That sounds like the staff at my local pub.
oh, there you go.
Hopeless cunts.
When I said I wanted a big
Sort
head,
of one drink, mate.
It's not hard to pour a fucking beer, you know what I mean? I've never worked behind a bar in my life, but I reckon I could pour a fucking perfect beer 10 out of 10 times. Like,
it's not difficult. There's not a difficult skill.
yeah.
There you go.
The worst part with
gonna set me
players
off.
that get really bad efficiency, like 30% efficiency, is you're better off them not getting the ball, getting the footy.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
turnover central, you're actually better off putting someone in the team that's not getting the ball at all.
Oh, our other winger does plenty of that. He gets about 10 possessions a game. So, we're all good there with Matty Cottrell, and no issues with that. So,
Geez, you guys were meant to be the bee's knees this year. Meant to be
got the cattle on paper, but just can't seem to put it together. I think obviously against Geelong it was I don't know if you watched it, we were fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was just pressure. Anytime Geelong got hold of it, they were coughing it up because of the amount of implied pressure and real pressure.
Yeah.
And then of course what happens is we just get too far ahead of ourselves, and we got shown up as quite slow against Adelaide. They were moving the ball really quickly. We couldn't get near it, and too many doing too little. So you just can't. You'd argue that our bottom 4 probably aren't at AFL standard.
Yeah.
And then the next 8 just can't be relied upon week in, week out. There's only the same half a dozen every week that you can count on. And the rest are hit and miss, and our bottom ones just probably aren't there yet. So
Yeah, that's right.
and when you've got, I'll be kind and say enigmatic forwards. It's that you just don't know what you're going to get out of either of them half the time.
Yeah.
But at least Harry can kick a goal now if he gets near it. But they against Geelong, they had this. It worked really well. Harry was up the line just clunking marks all day. Charlie didn't go beyond the 50. For whatever reason, they just decided to flip that. And I was seeing Charlie up in the half-back line. I'm like, can't get goals from there, bro. You're going to just get back there.
Yeah.
Let him get it to you. But then, again, too often, we actually got belted in the clearances, and that's something we've always been really good at. And we got belted by Geelong too. But all we're doing is bombing it, and it just becomes a one-trick pony. So, if they've got any sort of half-decent defence, it just gets picked off. So if it wasn't for Jacob Wittering, we'd probably lose by 10 goals every week.
Yeah.
He is exceptional football player.
Yeah, he's turned into a fucking magnificent football player these days.
Yeah.
Has been for a while now, actually.
He's and he's got the biggest thighs you'll ever see on a human being in your life, mate.
Yeah, he is. I remember his first year, highly talented, touted young man, but he was a fucking skinny little thing when he first started.
He's turned into a beast.
Yeah.
It was like that year that Benny Cousins came big, but he didn't get on the gear to get there. So,
I remember that happened, and I'm like, oh, he's not going to be able to run at all. He's fucking huge now. And you still get running.
Cousins, mate. 1 year, it finishes 1 year, comes back, and he's like absolutely jacked.
Yeah, he's huge.
He was like 96, 97, something like that. And you think, Jesus Christ, what has he been doing in the off season?
Can you come back?
Yeah, we
back,
found
guys.
out, didn't we? So, you know,
That's funny you say about the bottom few players in the team not up to AFL standard. The Great Lee Matthews used to always say that the premiership teams it's more about the
Yep.
last 5 or 6 picked than the rest of the superstars cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And it's how your bottom 5 or 6 perform as to how
Exactly.
well you do as a team.
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Those role players that if you
Yeah,
look
you
back
always
to
need
his
role
premiership
players.
teams, you look back to the Brisbane teams of the early 2000s, all the names roll off the tongue. There's no one that you go, oh, I forgot he played. Everyone had a part to play.
Yeah. No passengers, and even the McRae's of the world. Funny, he was no star, but you could count on him for a couple, and
Absolutely.
Scott Brothers, all those guys. They're not mega
Yeah.
stars. They had the big four in the middle, and but beyond that, or obviously Jonathan Brown was pretty bloody handy, and there's Justin Lepich and those sorts.
Yeah,
of Michael.
Brandy was pretty young through their best time, so he was only he was very young when they won their premierships. He would have been 19, 20 years old through.
Well, bugger had to keep on
those.
and go through some lean times, but that was easy to do that with 3 medals around your neck, but
Much easier.
It's much easier.
but they were fan. I actually a couple of weeks ago I was lucky enough to go to a coaching clinic with Simon Black, and it was just fascinating in terms of how he used to go about the game, how he used to take on opposition. It was interesting because he's giving us there's all juniors, everything from 13s to sort of 17s, and it was absolutely packed, far and away the busiest one I've been to. And he's talking about how to create separation from your opponent in the middle. And he's talking about how he used to just absolutely fucking just tonk people. And the bloke from AFL Juniors had to step in going, yes, Simon, I'm not sure we should be... the 13-year-old kid's out, so I'll straighten
We shouldn't be punching
boys
cunts
in the
out.
midfield, let's go. Create that, so you don't lead against them, you just smack him in the chest and off you go.
Yeah.
Then it's,
Big palm right in the solar plexus and then run off.
And then after the game, you get pissed.
Thanks, Simon. It's I don't have the biggest team, so they need to be able to use those things to not get muscled. So
Yeah.
Well, so he came from a time where he would have been getting tagged week in, week out, over and over again. And I do think back about the midfielders these days have it quite lucky compared to the midfielders of 10, 15 years ago. Like, I look at I consider Gary Ablett Jr. the best player that I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
And the dude, he had someone in his back pocket 110% of the time from as soon as he became, from 2007 to when he retired.
Yeah.
And he was still dominating. I would like to see how the midfielders today would handle that.
So he was just driven by work rate. No one could get near his work rate. He'd just keep going and going and going. And I think I'd say like West Coast Chris Judd was just exceptional when I saw him live. You'd just see, but it was always in flashes. It was never. So it wasn't like Ablett where it's just 4 quarters of just grind.
Yeah,
You'd sit there and there'd be a contest, and it's almost just like this flash. And Juddy's out the other side, straight shoulders, and he was that quick, and he'd kick 3 goals a game every week.
Yeah.
And then Michael Voss was the other one that I thought. I remember I was living in Perth and went to a Brisbane Freo game, which would have been the height of excitement back in those days. But I was sitting up the stands and I was sitting there going, fuck, it feels like there's fucking 5 of him out there because he's not the fastest bloke, but his ability to read the play. And
Vossy,
he was just everywhere, and you just don't. You look at the way they draft athletes now, and you wonder whether someone like Vossi is maybe, what he was 180 centimetre and he was 80 kegs. He's pretty stocky, pretty short, not the fastest. You sit there and go, mate, would he even get a look these days? But it's he was exceptional football brain. He was everywhere. Whereas,
he was a forward in his junior footy. So
right.
I reckon it was they scouted him playing juniors when he was 16 or 17, and he was a forward. He kicked 11, 12 goals when he got scouted.
and he just
So
never,
as
never
a
grew.
forward pocket, full forward, shorter full forward. He's just a natural ball reader
I think
and
yeah.
tough as fuck.
Yeah, well, I think they're like waiting for them to hit their growth spurt, and then they don't. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
But yeah, he went all right. He was very
Yeah,
good, but
he was all right.
Ablett's
There
probably,
you go.
I'd say Ablett Junior is probably up there though in terms of the best I've seen live. It's
Oh,
I
bloody oath.
feel really fortunate to have gone and seen
Was,
some of those
uh,
guys, and it's
I was actually there. I was actually there to see his first win for the Gold Coast Suns against the Power.
yeah. Mate,
Thanks for that.
I was with
went-
I was with another Eagles mate, and he's going nuts. He's like, "Let's go!" I'm like, "Calm down, mate. We're in like the full fucking membership of the Power. Like, calm down. We'll
Jesus
get over here
Christ.
alive, mate."
Mate,
I reckon I was overseas when we lost that game,
Yeah,
and I was very fucking thankful for it. I was overseas for a year, and that was a really good year to not be here.
yeah.
That was a fucking shocker.
I went to see the first Gold Coast game. I was at the Gabba against Carlton, and I think it was Juddy's 200th. I think it wasn't his 250th, it was his 200th. And one of my boys, I'd already got in the Carlton bandwagon. The other one's just like, I'm going to follow Gold Coast. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I bought him a shirt, and it's funny because we got some gear signed by it was signed by bloody Tom Lynch, who was just like this
Oh,
kid.
wow.
He wasn't even playing. He's just out the front, and he signed it. And there was some other someone who went on as well. I can't. Yeah, not the Gold Coast. Went on somewhere else, but that's they got belted by 120 points. So it was
Jesus.
yeah, not the wasn't the greatest spectacle, but I was pretty happy, obviously. But even you go and watch your team play, and even winning by 120 points, you're like, fucking. By the end of it, you're not even watching. It's barely.
Nah, not especially if you're not if you're at the game.
Yeah.
You kind of like it's sort of like I don't really go to. I've never been to an AFL game. But I've watched it on and off for the last how many years. Been to a few NRL games, but most games I've been to is like the T20, like when the Brisbane Heat play, and like I love seeing like a close game.
Yeah.
Like when I'm there. But at home, I want to see him just absolutely run through them and flog them. It's it's different.
true.
It's like I don't want to see the team batting first get bowled out for fucking 40 runs because I've paid for tickets. I don't want this game to be over in 40 minutes. It's different. Like everyone loves watching their team clean
When
up.
I'm watching my own team, I love a close game if we win, and I get to watch it again.
Oh yeah, 100%.
At the time,
sit back and
you can
watch it.
at the time you can
Yeah.
jam your close game, screw up your fucking.
Oh,
ass.
no
I want us
way.
to, I want us to hammer them every time we play. Like, it's
Yeah.
great to that was so exciting, but
Yeah,
the ones that we lose, it's not.
Yeah.
If we're going to lose, I'd rather just get smacked. And smack early.
Yeah.
Just
So you can turn it off.
And,
Just walk
yeah.
away.
yeah.
Because
So we had, I went to the Carlton Brisbane preliminary where we kicked the first 5 goals, and I'm just like, so I didn't have a Carlton membership at the time, but we were getting Brisbane memberships because my young fella, he just wants to go to the footy. So I'm like, okay, well, let's get some Brisbane tickets. We can go to the footy more often. And so we managed to get tickets based on that, but it meant we were sitting in just an absolute fucking sea of Brisbane people. So there was, it would have been 40% Carlton, massive following up here. And the grandstand above us was just full of Carlton, but everywhere I looked, it was just Maroon and me. And we kicked the first 5 goals, and by then I'm just standing up, arms out, going, fucking suck it. And then, and then as it came back, I'm, just a bit quieter, and then,
Just pull that down a
it
bit.
was all over. But I had a few sort of give it back to you. You got to take, if you
absolutely.
gotta take it.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
If you're going to go, you have to take it.
I made some new friends on the night. Let's go with that. And but I was also fortunate enough the week before, I managed to use my mate's membership, and we bought tickets to the Carlton Melbourne game with and I took my son down, and we just decided to just literally out of nowhere jump on a plane, went down Thursday night, game Friday, and then we left Saturday. So it was but that was the one where we won by 2 points. It was like against Melbourne. It was 96,500 people.
Wow.
And the stand is literally like this. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this thing's going to fall down. Obviously, we came back. We were a couple of goals down, and we kicked 2 goals, 2 sweet, and got the win. And, mate, it's probably one of the most emotional moments I've been able to share with my son. The tears from both of us, tears all around us. And then
Yeah.
until you sort of like I'd been down and seen Carlton a couple of times, not a lot. Growing up in WA, obviously you'd watch them when they come and there'd be like 5,000 Carlton supporters and that's it. But being able to go see them in a home crowd, but something like that. We're walking down if you've been in the MCG, but you sort of the cool thing is there's escalators going up top. So for a lazy prick like me, it's good. And then you take the stairs down, and all the way down the stairs is just people just singing the song the whole time, and it's just it's just massive. And go outside, people climbing the statues, going crazy. It took about an hour to get a tram back into town. And we get Flinders Street Station, and people are bloody going past in their cars and horns and flags, and you don't appreciate it. I come from obviously Perth, which is AFL mad, but you can't really appreciate it until you go to a city like and you see just how nuts they are for it.
Yeah.
But that was a monster being able to see them live, and then of course I was fortunate enough to come and watch them get fucking smacked a week later in Brisbane. So that was yeah. But always have the good thing about being Carlton supporters. They always have a good following.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like you go and watch a Freo game and there's like fucking 12 Freo supporters down the down the end at the Gabba or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one thing that you can say about Melbourne, and I don't have lots of good things to say about any of them, but is they fucking follow their sport.
Oh,
No
yeah.
matter what it is, they're fucking sport mad in Melbourne.
They are
And
very sport
They
mad.
turn out to watch
No matter what it is.
all their sports.
Yeah. The thing is, you look at. Well, I was talking about this the other day, saying when you meet someone who's a footy supporter, right? You know when they follow the footy or they follow sport, but then you get on a tram in Melbourne, it's just like some fucking businessman who he's just got his scarf on and fucking off we go, and that's everyone just seems to just follow it. They've got a team to go, and
There's
You
borderline
just- you go-
religion.
You go to the footy, that's just what you do.
Yeah, I've been down there, and it's like on a non-big game. So I went down a few years ago. I went down and we watched Brisbane Melbourne on a Thursday night or Friday night, something like that. And then the next day we were watching Carlton Freo at Marvel. But it was like $10 to go and watch Brisbane Melbourne.
Fucking hell.
And you sit there and go, what it's like. You all live. What does it cost at Adelaide to go to the footy? What's if you're going to go?
30 odd bucks.
Well, yeah, so I think like Brisbane, you wouldn't get change out of $60 for a cheap ticket, and if you want to get more, it's like out to $80, $100.
Yeah.
So,
You want a drink? It's fucking You better be saving your money.
Yeah.
Well, I go to a couple of
get
NRL games
Yeah.
a year, and Suncorp Stadium, holy shit, beers are $15 each.
yeah,
Like,
nuts,
I'm
man.
and they're not even full strength.
Full strength,
It's like,
yeah,
fuck,
mid-tier.
hell, man.
so
Yep.
Like, I'm not that far from Brisbane, like about an hour 20, maybe at the most. So it's not
yeah,
hard to go down there on the train and come back home without having to worry about driving. Just getting from the train station, obviously, back home. But I'm like, fuck, I can't. Like, you go out for the night, you get to a pub first, and then you go to the game, and then you buy beers at the game. It's like 4 beers in, that's $60.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
just got to get on it beforehand, mate. That's the
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
That's right.
You
That's
have
why
to.
people
You idiot.
fucking get on it. They pre-drink,
Yeah.
you sneak drinks in, and you fucking
Get kicked out like I did.
Oh,
don't do what Matt did and get kicked out before the game. Did you get before the game started or the first quarter?
Halftime.
Oh, half time. All right. That's
You
right.
say sneak it, man. How do you sneak it? Do you know, there was when I lived in New Zealand, there was a show called Pop Sport, which is like a piss taker, just like comedians doing stuff on sport. And they used to do this thing where they would see how much drink they could sneak into a rugby game, a provincial rugby game, and all the different things they tried. And there was one where a bloke, because in the Waikato, it's the Waikato Chiefs, but it's all very dairy driven. It's all dairy farming country.
Yeah.
This bloke stuck on a fucking a cow suit, and the udder was full of beer, and he'd out the udder.
Oh, please tell me his mates were like sucking on the others because that would be
Oh,
hilarious.
mate. Oh,
That
God.
would be hilarious.
Right. But the golden one is provincial rugby, so they've got grass banks and that sort of stuff. And there's one where they actually get a group of them, and they're carrying a coffin in, and it's like, it's for my grandfather, and his last dying wish was to see a game. So they're fucking, and of course the whole thing's full of fucking cans. But who's going to open it and have a look? So
that's
they've got
so
ball
good.
bearers carrying the coffin into the game.
Full of ice. full of beers.
That's
Oh,
brilliant.
Next
trying that
level, mate.
next time.
Next level.
I would have went one further and actually put a body in there.
Yeah,
Body on top, you reckon?
Just
So-
just to look a little bit more legitimate.
just laying there, like just laying.
I mean, why not? The body's cold anyway, so you
Yeah.
fucking don't need ice.
Lay on top of all the beers.
It's like, oh,
Plus,
where's the beer?
plus that's a free, like that's a fucking free pass into the footy as well. The person laying in the coffin,
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
you're doing it.
Yeah, just don't squeeze the udder, mate. Just don't squeeze.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unless your name's Paul. Anyway,
Bloody hell. Yeah,
Oh wow.
well, that's all right. So,
Well, what's happening in the barbecue world, mate? You doing all right over there?
been pretty busy. Yeah, been pretty busy actually. It was yeah, because I've as I say, I've done a bit of travel. Went to Japan and did that, and did a little trip to Sydney and so on. I've got my son's actually getting married later in the year down in Melbourne, so I've got to
Oh wow, that'd be
go to
good.
that one. I'm coming to Perth in September, so see a bit of family and yeah, so it's all pretty hectic personally, but business wise, yeah, a whole heap of restaurants and things like that, both with rubs and charcoal. So that's been growing quite well. We've got a couple of restaurants that are taking on the dill pickle dust and using on their fries and going through 10 kilos at a time, which is fantastic. So we just do bulk pails and that's cool as
Yeah.
well. But I guess the big news is I've at the end of this month releasing 3 sauces. So it's been a long time coming. Like these are the sauces that I was using when I first, because Jackalope's 10 years old this year, so it's
Wow.
which is big news. I'm not dead yet, so it's it's yet. And then yeah, so these are what I was doing on my burgers way back when I was catering. So I've been faffing around for a long time, thinking how am I going to get them out? What's it going to look like? And yeah, I've finally put my A into G, and we've just got it up and going. So very
Nice.
excited about that. And
Well, that'd
I
be
remember you mentioned it last time when we spoke about just barbecue rubs in general. You had something that you wanted to tell us, but you couldn't.
yeah,
I reckon that might have been it.
I reckon that was absolutely
Feel
it.
like-
So
I feel like that could have been it.
yeah, we're getting so and beyond that, yeah, so that's exciting, and I've tried to do just something a little bit different. Like there's I'm doing a barbecue sauce, but it's a Carolina vinegar sauce. So instead of that really sweet and smoky, it's sort of acidic, and it's still quite rich and thick, but it's got a fair bit of acidity through it. So really good for pork.
I'd
And,
rather that actually.
Mm.
Yeah, I think so. I think,
Barbecue. Everyone loves barbecue sauce, but I feel like every man and his dog now makes a barbecue sauce.
Yep.
And they just
Yeah.
make sweetness their profile.
Mhm.
And
Sweet and smoky.
sometimes
smoky.
less is more. You know what I mean?
if we want to,
It doesn't have to be like fucking literally an artificial lolly. I'm more of a fan of a sour vinegary style barbecue sauce than like, Sweet Baby Ray's, all that shit. It's too it's a bit sickening
too
sickly
much.
after
So-
a while.
Yeah.
And that's it for me. Like it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm only ever going to release things I like, and I've made that mistake before. I've tried to develop something because I think it's something people want, and it never got made because my heart just wasn't in it. I just sort of thought,
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time I trial it, I'm like, I just don't fucking like it, and it doesn't matter. If I don't like it, well, how am I going to get behind it? So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's exactly
it's,
right.
I tried doing a fruit based rub for pork, and it was just
Yeah.
It's got something, but I'd like to think that maybe we could do something one day, but it's just got to be something I'm into. So beyond that, I'm doing my version of a certain burger sauce. So that's it's something
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
doing for. I've been doing for a while.
McDaniels.
Sorry.
There's a Family Guy episode that when they couldn't say a certain chain, they called it McDaniels burger sauce.
I think of Coming to America, where it's McDowell's. If you ever seen that movie, so
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, they got the Big Mac, we got the Big Mick. So it was okay, no sesame seeds on the bun. It's so it's that, and I do a burger when I do cakes. I've done I was doing pop-ups with Ironwood for a couple of years, and then I did one late last year with Baines, my mate Matty Ryan at Baines Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to, he spoke to me about doing a pop-up, and, he was going to do pop-ups out the front of our shed all the time, and it just sort of never eventuated. And then late last year, and he goes, look, I set myself a goal for the end of the year. I just wanted to fucking do one. So, so we did one with it. It was absolutely pissed down rain, but we still sold it.
I remember seeing the stories on that, the Instagram stories. It was a bit of a rough weather weekend.
It was garbage.
I mean, you just ask the boys every time I send them a message, I'm complaining about the fucking rain. I haven't been able to mow in like 3 months.
You don't.
It sounds like it rains a lot.
If you don't,
Queensland's been
wet.
wet.
It's fucking just depressing when it's just pissing down day after day, and it just wouldn't like it stopped. And I was lucky enough to be in Japan when the Alfred bullshit came through.
Yeah.
So I think one of my outdoor chairs fell over, so that was
Oh, no.
managed to rebuild. So
We will recover.
Oh man,
We can rebuild.
yeah,
I was all ready to fucking. That seriously was the biggest piss take fucking cyclone I've ever experienced. I remember getting so excited. I got fucking rotten drunk a day before it was supposed to hit, and I was that hungover. I was blacked out for 24 hours and slept through the whole thing. And I woke up and nothing was different. I was like, oh, okay.
Who's going to vlog it all?
We thought that the thing must have gone just to your house because
No one heard from me for like 2 days.
3 fucking days.
Yeah, we're like, fuck.
I was literally just-
collapsed.
Yeah, I had
Blown
alcohol
away.
poising for like 48
blown
hours.
away.
Sitting there, SES is sitting there going, be prepared. And you're like, fuck you, I'll fucking just get pissed.
Yeah, it's like, trust me, I am. I got 90 beers in the fridge.
Sitting here prepared.
You need water? No, who needs water?
Yes, you're
No,
not
it's supposed to rain. Fuck them.
I think so.
I remember
so-
fucking when COVID was like that last time it happened, like when they're like, oh, we're going to lock everyone down again for a little bit. It wasn't for.
Yeah.
It was probably like a half a week or something. It was meant. It looked like it was going to be a big one again. And as soon as it happened, we were like, fuck, we need to get some beer. So we filled the fridge with beer. Like the fridge was just chock as full of beer because it was like my beer, my wife's dad's beer as well, and fucking we're just getting all this alcohol. And then a few days later, they're like, oh no, it's not that bad actually. Everyone can go back to work. Everyone can go and do something. Like, well, at least you got a fridge full of beer.
Let's drink it now. So we learned how to make cocktails, and I realised we'd fucking ripped off all these. You go to a fancy restaurant and you're paying $20 for a cocktail, and then I was sitting there going, because they're making Negronis. So I went and bought all the ingredients for Negronis, and it cost me, I think, $130. And I did the math, and I was like, made like $850 worth of cocktails. And I'm like, what the? I've been, that's
Wow.
what
Yeah,
is this?
that's
So
Jeez.
we got into that. COVID was a great time because my boys, well, they both got sacked, so it was not so great for them. But they moved back home, and because they were both working in restaurants, and they moved back home. We had a fucking fantastic time, and my poor, well, he was 9 at the time. My 14-year-old, he was 9. He was getting homeschooled by me and his 19 and 20-year-old brothers. So
Yeah.
it was very fascinating times for him, the poor bugger. But it was good. It was actually just good to have us all under one roof again. So
for the most part, I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah, it was good.
I'm trying to remember Queensland. I don't know if it varied state by state, but from memory, and I could be wrong, Queensland felt like we were locked down for like 3 months.
we had some
And-
decent lockdowns. Yeah,
Because we were like here in southeast Queensland, all you got in my town is you go to the pub, you go and play golf, or you go down to the bars club. Outside of that, there's fuck all to do, and like we couldn't do any of that. And that's actually what I was like. I went straight to Bunnings and bought a cheap fucking smoker, and that's how I started cooking
yeah, right.
because of COVID. And then I didn't realize after COVID lifted, fucking how expensive meat was. I was like, wow, I should take up drugs.
No, we were able to hide under because we're food manufacturers. Technically, we're essential, so we're able to go about our business. So that was not so bad. It was a bit cheeky. We're hardly baking bread, but it's that was the law. So we're able to do that. And every time they'd call a snap, Anastasia would call a snap lockdown. I'd grab the boys and we'd hit the supermarket because obviously everyone would be going crazy and
Yeah.
we would just
Yeah.
charge the joint.
toilet
man.
paper.
Fuck you, I'm grabbing that. Get fucked, and
It's
see
crazy.
people with a trolley full of toilet paper, and I'll have one,
Well, it
fucking
just
one of
makes me
those. Get
laugh.
fucked, and that was it. So that's,
I can't understand, like, during a time of, like, it happened with Alpha as well, with the cyclone. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a cyclone coming, it could be destructive. Oh, there's a virus coming, it could be destructive. The first thing people are thinking about is shitting their fucking pants. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I best have toilet paper or else this is going to be terrible.
It is.
Like,
Yeah, it's unreal. Like, I'm gonna shit myself constantly. Fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
settle down.
You haven't got any fucking food to eat, so you don't. You
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You're not gonna eat eating.
Right.
You need to eat the shit, mate. You fucking calm down a bit.
I remember the COVID times, people were selling it at an
Yeah.
expensive
Oh,
rate on
yeah.
Marketplace. Like,
You sit there and go, power's, with cyclone, power could be out for a week, and it's like, I know what I need: bread and milk. You're just like,
it's going to go off, you fucking idiot.
I was trying to swap a 18 pack of toilet paper for an Xbox, new Xbox. Marketplace.
Yeah. Oh, in 2020, we're going to have flying cars. We've got some kind of fucking hoarding toilet paper.
Yeah, I reckon.
Wild time. But yeah. So anyway, we digress heavily. I was talking about burger sauce.
Yes, the wheels fall off big time on this,
Yeah, it's
on this
alright.
show.
Me too, mate. That's
I'll take minutes for another episode.
So that's I do a burger called the Mac Daddy, and
Yeah.
so it's essentially all the things you'd expect, like the lettuce and the diced white onion, all that kind of stuff, pickles and brisket, and then obviously that special sauce. So I've called it the Mac Daddy special sauce, and there's a couple of, with the design, there's a couple of little sort of drops, and I sent it out to a couple of people, and I said, "Oh, that looks like Sprog," and I'm like, well, special sauce. I'm going for it. So people might get the joke, they might not. They might like it.
I like it.
Oh, I do. I was going to say, I hope you get that. I hope you get
Yeah.
So, and
You should rename it to the Gentleman's Relish.
Gentleman's jizz.
just man butter. So it's and the other one, because I obviously made the pastrami rub and used to do Reubens and stuff like that. I make a Russian dressing. So
Yep.
I'm finally, and I've called it fancy Russian dressing, because I was gonna call it fancy sauce, which is a bit of a nod to Step Brothers. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fancy sauce, and
Best movie ever made.
then it fucking dawned on me that in that movie it's just
Fancy
literally
sauce.
mayo and ketchup, so I don't really want to do
Yeah.
that. But it's fancy Russian dressing. So it's so although it's made for Reubens, like, be nice as a seafood sauce, something on a steak sandwich, that kind of stuff. So
I was
it's
going
like-
to say, it'd be good for a bit of reef and beef.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
good.
creamy sauce. It's got a good horseradish kick and a bit of a chili kick as well. I haven't sort of held back on that. It's got a decent kick to it. But it's and look, just quietly shitting my pants because it's a pretty decent investment that people
Yeah.
like it. So it goes well. So I've had to. You'll be impressed to know, boys, that just by chance, because two of them, the special sauce and the Russian dressing, they're mayo-based sauces. So, which is a problem, to be able to have
Yeah.
a shelf stable and that sort of stuff, and that's probably
Yeah.
what's been holding me back. But I've worked with a really good friend of mine and he sort of showed me some stuff that he was doing with his sauces, and so we developed these things together, and it's actually made it vegan. Funny enough, so they are vegan.
Oh, nice.
No one
What
gives
you
a
need
shit
these days.
except vegans, and
Yes.
A lot of
Eggless.
sauces, like, it's a
Mayo.
good way to go. Like,
yeah.
you're appealing to both markets there.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, it's not the intent. It's just it wasn't obviously intending to make it, but because
Yeah.
I needed to. Because egg, funny enough, is if you look up food poisoning in Queensland, eggs being the biggest cause of food poisoning at Queensland restaurants in the last 10 years than any other ingredient. So you
Yeah.
can really fuck people up with eggs. So we've ended up using a thing called aquafaba, if you know what that is. So
Never heard
No
of
idea.
it
That's
is.
a new one. Sit here and nod my head like,
It is. Well, you got to learn. Well, here you go.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Let's
There you
go
go.
to school.
It is chickpea brine.
Oh,
So
wow.
Okay.
Oh,
it is-
right, okay.
It is the juice that chickpeas sit in, and if you whip that, it's actually an egg white substitute. So,
Oh wow.
so you might see it if you you get an old fashioned. It's got the and it's vegan. They're not using egg white; they're using aquafaba. But if you then add vegetable oil and lemon juice and that sort of stuff, it's essentially a mayo substitute, and it's shelf stable. It's vegan. It's still not it just happens to be
Jeez.
vegan, but it means that it can be shelf stable. So
Yeah.
don't worry about
Yeah,
refrigeration.
yeah.
I don't really want to sell a sauce that butchers and that need to keep in their fridge, and then you need to buy it and get it home, put it in the fridge. Obviously, once you opened it, you want to put it in the fridge because it's a sauce. But so it just happens to have turned out that way. So look, I'm really happy with it. It's not exactly the way I would make it with the mayo because it's impossible to sort of replace that. But it's at a point where I'm really, really happy with it, and it's looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out there and see what people think. So, and beyond that, doing a bit of I'm doing a bit of research with co-packing for a couple of guys. So people that are a couple of restaurants looking to release their own brand that are buying stuff from me at the moment. So I'm just developing that stuff, and also with another brand. So people who just want to release a product, and nice guys, I'm happy to sort of work with them and develop something with them. But it's
That's a good idea because I looked into a co-packer at the end of last year when I was half serious about having a bulk amount of stuff on hand because I all mine are made to order.
Yeah.
So which I haven't put it on the website for ages, but I found 2 co-packers in Brisbane, but the first one, Stag and Co, never got back to me, and then I think Saucelo and Co do. Oh, not Sourced. What's his name? The guy in Queensland that also does it. I forget what his name is, but it seemed very ridiculously expensive. So I was like,
I don't know. So it's obviously
someone Kimber.
Sorry.
You'd know the guy. You 100% would know the guy.
Sauce line slow.
Saucelo. So that's him. It is him. Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy.
I just couldn't justify the upfront cost because there was obviously a minimum order for it.
Yeah.
And stuff, but I think it's a way to go for especially for small batch guys, butcher shops that maybe want their own rub. But most butcher shops probably have the facilities to make it. But
they do and don't because obviously the environment is not necessarily appropriate.
Yeah.
And particularly, it's not very dry at butchers,
especially from a food standard as well.
Yeah, and obviously working at good butchers, it's like a brand new shop every day. They bleach the shit out of that joint, but it's essentially it's a fairly wet environment, which is not really conducive for making rubs and things like that. So, Stag is obviously New South Wales, I think, somewhere down there. So they're big chunky boys now. They make a lot of different brands, and they're making bloody. I think they make Greenwoods, and I think they make Butcher's Axe, and bloody hell.
Because when I went on their website last year, and I just had a look at these are our partners, or these are the people we make for. There was so many names that I didn't expect to see on there.
Yeah, it's a
fuck.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I guess they're well set up for it. I don't know how it's not. I think maybe 6-7 years ago, it's probably something I might have considered, but because I was, I guess, very much like yourself, I'm busy and doing stuff, and you get a batch, and okay, there it goes, and then someone orders, and you're like, oh fuck, I've got to, go and make it again, and it's it's very sort of hard, and I guess now we're sort of across that line where, it's sort of self-supporting. I think it's not something I'd probably consider doing, but I think going back a few years, but I probably would have, and as I say, it's sort of an opportunity so just working with a couple of different people, and there's a barbecue restaurant that I supply bulk rubs to, and then they said, hey, we'd really like to sort of do our own flavors. It's a bit tricky though because we're not doing it because he's like, well, I'll take yours, and then I want to do this, and this. So it's using this, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard to sort of develop from that point because it has to, as it has to be a bit of a science in terms of what
especially ratios and
even the order in which you add them. So it's sort of
literally.
Yeah. So
Especially like even brown sugar as one of the ingredients is like because it's such like a kinetic sand consistency.
yeah,
It doesn't go well if you're adding that last.
yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
and-
And if you add it to something, the wrong thing that's a bit that's too fine, it just turns into rocks, and it's
yeah.
So
That was one thing that I figured out, or I worked out when I started dabbling in my own flavor of rub, which still not serious on. I just literally now just make it for mates and whatever
good.
because I've got
It is
other
good,
things
man.
going on. I appreciate that coming from someone
yeah.
who actually makes a good rub.
yeah,
But when I first started, I had no idea. I just thought about flavors. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. Pretty sure I made something that could fucking probably melt steel. It was dangerously
beams, mate.
borderline
Melt steel-
illegal hot.
Melt steel beams. That'll be bringing down buildings, mate. That's the end of it.
Yeah,
Or you're terrorist.
I said to my missus at the time, I'm like, we have to throw this out. This is going to probably explode in the sun one day. It was fucking... I don't know what I even put in. I just put these random seasonings from Woolies. Chucked them in a coffee grinder. I was like, yeah, I'm going to season my steak with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I think that's
Honestly,
going to be
this-
a homebrew that's going to fucking explode in the sun.
Oh,
Still
man.
sitting there.
I reckon that's all finally evaporated now, the homebrew.
Oh,
That was
jeez.
volatile as fuck.
Pure sediment. You can rack it and snort it. It's just sediment now.
Yeah.
You know.
That
So
was the
Yeah,
that was the best video.
don't tempt me.
It's so strong now it's into a vapor. You just walk into the room and you're pissed.
You just leave it up the shed.
think of the money you're saving.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no rats in the shed. I'll
Put it
say
into
that
an
much.
asthma puffer.
he's saving it for when we come up there and we all fucking get on it.
I reckon there's only about 3 shots worth left, but we could have a bit of a.
And that's it.
It'd be the consistency of a fucking probably a barbecue sauce.
The whole
as well.
week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wild times, boys. So
They were asleep for the whole week. In one shot.
so when's so
It'd
you
be like a
guys had it
hallucinogen.
together recently? Yeah, you sort of what late?
Yeah, we got together in January and
Yep.
it
How'd
was,
that go?
we went to Radar and all that sort of stuff. It was good times.
Yeah.
had a bit of a fucking.
Drank a couple
I
beers.
don't remember anything.
Oh,
really.
we had like
I remember
what was that? What,
videos.
what was the beer review? We had nine beers. We had a 9 beer review, and they
Oh,
were
Yeah, I
9
think-
beers.
I
towards
think
the
half
end
of
they were
that-
heavy. They were heavy
I don't
beers.
think. I think the lightest beer was like 4%, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably
I
was.
They
think we
just
only
got
had one 4%
more.
and the rest were over 6.
Yeah, they were.
And the last 3 or
Yeah,
4 were
full
like 9 and 10.
Yeah,
So when's the next one planned, boys?
Yeah, no, good week though.
When and where?
Fly
What's
yacht.
you up to?
he probably went down in the blow up pool. It's going down on us. On Australia Day, we're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna land here.
Right, I
It's fucking
forgot about
hot.
Australia Day.
Good God. God. So you're going to do it again? When's the next one up?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
always
we'd
like
like,
to-
we'd like to be able to get up there at
Yeah,
some
we
point.
want to try and come up that way.
But we were talking about probably coming down for the Live Golf next year.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, that
I'm
looks
going to buy
amazing.
tickets for that.
That looks
So-
amazing, man. That looks so much fun.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
the next
Fucking Happy Gilmore on crack.
plan.
This
Oh,
sounds-
we're gonna wear
Bucket list
outfits.
kind of shit.
Yep.
I'll wear me
Yeah,
Jaeger,
jeans, man.
me Jaeger fucking outfit with the shirt and the shorts. I'll fit right in.
Just budgie smugglers, mate. Just roll around on that. So,
I love
Sure.
that.
Oh, yeah.
that
Cow outfit with an udder full
Literally.
of piss.
Harder full of
yeah, there you
piss.
go. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
mate, sucking on your teats.
Fucking idea. Fucking ideas,
like-
mate. Your ideas,
Who's
man.
going to wear it? Have to be the fattest count.
That'd be a
Oh,
fucking...
we have to find
They
some,
walk around to everyone and go, say, milk me.
we're gonna get a
Milk me.
Just-
find a really fat maiden. We're just going, here, mate. Wear this.
Oh, I'm sure Ben will come down. Anyway,
Hope you don't mind not drinking. We just drink from you. Drink from the others.
Just have your man milk.
Just go on.
Give a squeeze.
Full of gentlemen's
Your
relish.
shot.
gentleman's relish, yeah.
Oh, good God.
Squirting
Oh.
around for everyone.
Oh,
The live golf,
Enjoy.
yeah, that'd be a great week.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh, great 3 days anyway.
That would actually be good to vlog the whole time. Like we vlog
say
the whole, not flog, flog our others. Vlog the whole
Oh,
time.
vlog, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the first one too. That's good.
Well, probably.
That's maybe for later on when it's just you in the room, or you
Yeah,
having,
we're in the other room.
Yeah,
yeah, you just
And the
having a
cow
ground
outfit.
biscuit, or what's the you know?
Oh, the
Yeah.
cow outfit. Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, get
I'll
on it
bring
now.
in it.
like
Yeah.
churning butter.
And
Where's the alcohol going?
it's-
Like curdled milk.
Oh shit!
Oh, we love going south. The wheels
wheels.
have come off.
yeah.
All right,
So, yeah,
let's.
try. Started. We've stopped talking about footy. I know that. So that's
Yeah.
much better conversation.
I've stopped talking about footy from round one.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh,
still got
if
one.
you don't get a win this week, it's going to be a struggle, I think.
I don't think we will. I don't think we will. I think Richmond are too young and quick. They're a bit more hungry than we are. I feel like we have too many players that are playing for themselves and not for the team.
I'm
And I
intrigued
really feel bad for the coach.
because on paper,
Oh wow!
not a bad team. It's not a terrible team.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
It's a-
yeah.
Yeah, particularly you got Baker and you got bloody, you know.
Baker, I love Bakes. Bakes should 100%. If Alan fucks off next year, which I probably think he will this year, at the end of this year, 100% Bakes should be captain next year.
Like,
If Allen somehow sticks around, I think he should be captain next year anyway. After the debacle of this year, I'd be saying, even if he sticks around, I'd be like, maybe take a rest from the captaincy for a minute, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Concentrate on
I wouldn't
playing.
be throwing it back to him.
It's probably not
Him and Duggan. Duggan's done fuck all. Duggan does fuck all. I think Bakes definitely. I'd be handing to him straight away. Like if I had my way, I'd be giving to him right now. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Steve. But yeah, it's a big year, and I don't know. I feel like we're gonna win some. It's just I don't know. It's hard without Yowie there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yowie
He's
gives the ball. He's the fucking one that gets out the middle, and
So you got,
he helps
you got
things
Kenny's
happen.
hanging around for you know. You got,
and you got
Cripps
Kelly
hanging
that doesn't
around.
like. He's not in love with footy anymore, and
Mate, Kelly got 14 touches on the weekend.
yep, yeah,
That's probably about 25 grand a touch with what he's
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
right.
So,
Yep.
And we gifted you Matt Owies. You're welcome. And
he's done fuck all.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much what he did with us too. So it's I don't
I
know.
love how people are carrying on about Owies. They're like, what have Carlton done? What have they done? They've got rid of
Yeah.
Owies, blah blah blah. I'm like, now I'm watching him like,
Yeah.
I've seen what they've done. They've got rid of him.
We had to. Yeah, between him,
cleaned him out and got rid of him because fuck, he's done nothing.
Motlop, and Durden, just too many smalls. And I think,
Yeah.
Durden's starting to come good. He's getting a couple of goals a game. And always, you guys probably wouldn't watch him, Corey Durden, because obviously he's still a bit of unknown. But I watched him from his very first game, and I always thought back then, I thought he's actually got a bit of potential. He's got a bit of mongrel.
Yeah.
And, he's willing to throw his body in, which is, always used to a bit. But it's, he was, again, too hit and miss. And then you've got you're grabbing the number one draft pick, who's probably going to be the hottest property once he's done, and you've got him playing, half back, kick out. So I don't know what the coach is doing there. Like, if you're not playing Harley Reid in the midfield, I have no,
It's almost like he might have one foot out the door.
Yeah,
It's blatantly
something-
clear that he's leaving. Like,
well,
the coach is like,
yeah,
well,
what
if you're not going to be
playing
here
half-back,
next year,
he's
mate,
not
we're
that,
going to try other people in the midfield.
yeah,
Well, it looks like.
well, that makes sense, but it's,
Yeah.
and
It doesn't help with outside noise and all that sort of shit. Like, the AFL media is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen, can they, like, carry on about Richmond's number one draft pick over the next year and a half? They haven't said one word about it, they can't.
Yeah, well,
Fucking about how good he is and, like, sticking fucking fireballs up his ass. Fucking, it's bullshit. It's absolutely disgusting.
well,
It pisses me off because they've taken the number one fucking Victorian kid out of that fucking state, and now they want him back. From the day he played round one, they've been talking about when he's coming home.
Well,
It's fucking
the main
gross.
one's obviously it's West Australian. West Australian's brutal. It is a brutal newspaper when it comes
Yeah.
to sport. and then obviously the Kane Corns of the world, which who cares? But
Well, that's what I mean. Like it started off.
I'd love to
with
bash that
WA footy. Like, this is the WA media, and it's just drizzled down to the Victorian and all everything. They're all into it now. They're all fucking assholes, and I can't help myself now. I have to reply to everything. No, I get brutal.
on your
I
bloody
get brutal.
soapbox online, mate.
I'm starting to go. Tell me your address, and I'll come there now.
Yes.
I will fucking smash your face in.
Listen to fucking
That's
Willie,
all-
You're not Willie Ringley's mate, are you? Fuck, hang on.
Oh, fucking okay. Will
You
he
know
play
what?
for the Eagles? I've got him on speed dial. Let's
Yeah,
go,
well.
Willie. Willie got your mates
Well,
over here?
he was just on speed, wasn't he? Not on speed dial. So
No, he was only on cannabis.
yeah, I was going to say he's too fucking fat to be on the. Anyway, we're not allowed to say that. So yeah, sorry. He was.
You can talk about anything else, but you can't talk about their weight.
He didn't fit the profile of the modern day footballer.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. You cannot
Well, it's funny, we
ask
had,
their weight. How fucking
What a fucking
joke.
joke is that?
Yeah.
What's his name? It's Darcy. He's Premiership player last year for Brisbane. 44.
Gardner.
Oh yeah.
Number 44, young fella. So he's at the
Oh,
yeah.
he had a blinder.
Starts with a W.
Yeah.
Starts with a W.
I forgot his name.
Darcy. Anyway, so he came to the club the other week, the junior club, and we're talking about that. We're talking about how because he's talking about how much he eats after a game, because how much weight he loses, and I just sort of thought, how much weight do you lose? And he goes, we don't know anymore. So
Wow.
you said not allowed to actually go.
Darcy
but-
Fort?
No.
Yes.
That's,
Darcy Gardner? Darcy
Wilmot.
Wilmot?
Wilmot, yeah.
Yeah,
Darcy Wilmot?
yeah, Wilmot. That's it.
Yeah.
So. Fucking
Oh,
hell,
sorry, I'm
three
looking
fucking
at-
Darcys.
Wow.
Fucking Darcy.
Yeah, literally, that's what I
How
was
many
looking at.
Darcys they got playing for that fucking team right now? That's fine.
Fuck me.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Good luck. Yeah, and he's saying like, he would lose 4 to 5 kilos in a game,
Yeah.
but now they just don't weigh him. There's not a thing.
Wow. That's
So
unreal.
they can look at him and go, well, you're fit, you're not fit, but that's
That blows my mind, because it's like if you stand on a scale and you show people your weight, that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's not a made up
Yeah.
thing. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's
Like-
literally the law of physics.
Yeah.
that's sort of but they're not allowed to make that a centre anymore. It's just not a thing. So but
Fucking
it's
hell, they've
funny,
been watching
like,
the.
I remember
That's
reading the
fucked.
difference. Like I remember reading about Liam Lawson, if you know who he is like a race car driver, a Kiwi race car driver, and he was back when he was just driving karts and driving Formula Ford, and he wasn't anywhere near Formula One seat, but he was part of that team, and the idea was sort of developing.
Yeah.
And I remember reading this thing where he used to have to wear, like, I think it was before Apple Watches were invented, but he had to wear all these different bits of kit on him at all times where they were measuring, and we're talking 24 hours a day, heart rate, weight, skin folds all the time, all that kind of stuff constantly to make sure that he maintained, because obviously I don't know if you've met any decent drivers. Like I remember meeting Greg Murphy a few years ago, and he was fucking tiny. Like these guys are
Yeah,
absolutely tiny.
I remember meeting Mark Winterbottom.
Yeah.
Who actually turns out I'm related to him through third generation cousins, but he's a pizzle. There's nothing to him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've always wondered. I was like, yeah, I've never seen a fat fucking cunt behind the wheel because they're
Yeah,
going to jump out of the
imagine.
window.
You haven't driven past me, mate. So that's So it's
I'm trying to squeeze in that fucking little cockpit.
Oh, because when you see like the onboard cam, it is quite a confined little space.
If you were fat and unfit,
if you're like-
well, you'd soon be a lot skinnier by the time you finish.
yeah.
it'd be like a sauna.
The stress and
I think the point is like
The
All
heat.
the heat.
yeah.
he wasn't even at the top level, and he's having every little thing about his life completely set in terms of his food, his weight, his skin folds, his fucking everything was heart rate, blood pressure all the time. Yeah, all of a sudden even they're professional sportsmen, so I think there's a fair bit to suggest that they've got. I think it should be a standard requirement that they're remaining at the top level of fitness, and I think quite a few don't. I think so.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Imagine putting that in another sport. Let's say combat sports,
Yeah.
where you're not allowed to know anyone's weights.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
make it pretty interesting. Well, you can't actually weigh me because I'm a bit
Yeah.
sensitive.
But
I might be
Super
30
weight.
kilo
featherweight,
over the weight.
and,
But
yeah. So,
You seem a bit bigger than the other guy. No. Don't
I
talk to me
retain
like that.
water.
are you fattest? I'm suing you.
It's like, what are the numerical digits on the scale when you step on them, you fat cunt?
I mean, it says.
So are they allowed to do? Are they allowed to do skin folds?
I don't know, but I don't think I feel like they should, but I'm not sure they can anymore. Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's crazy. I know Tony Lockwood should come back.
Yeah,
He would have loved not getting skin fold test back in the day.
Yeah.
He would have told him to get fucked anyway.
yeah, Plugger wouldn't give bark anyway. But well,
No. What does he care?
The calipers aren't big enough. Oh, who cares?
So what's the reason behind that? Is it literally a body image thing now because we're a fucking
Yeah.
bunch of woke cunts?
That's
or-
the world
Yeah.
we live in.
Yep.
Right, yeah,
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what it is.
No, put it this way, I can understand how that might filter down to like junior level and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I think there needs to be, I guess, an understanding that once you're at that level, it's an elite level and it's just different. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to get paid $500,000 a year, I think it's your responsibility to be in top shape. But, you know, how that's measured, well, you know, they obviously think it's not that important, but
I have a fair issue with anything where they completely change something because it's for those kids that are looking up to these people or whatever. Whatever happened to having a conversation
Yeah.
with kids and explaining life to them?
yeah.
Literally,
Okay,
that,
so it's
that
different
comes back to the
at that
parents as
level.
well.
It's like,
Yeah.
that's what we're there for. They're there to guide the kids.
Teach your
Have a
kids
fucking
that
conversation
not
instead of
everything
just-
you fucking see on TV or social media is like, that's not how the real world is. Like, and also, like, on that particular topic, if they're worried about body image when it comes to weight feeding down, then educate your kids that fucking body image is just a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna love you whether you're 300 pounds or fucking 3
Yeah.
kilos. Like,
Yeah.
although if you're 3 kilos, I'd be definitely fucking consulting a doctor.
I'd be worried.
Or 300, but yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Or 300.
fucking, that's literally
Troy.
just an example of media / TV and social media having a negative impact for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they think they're doing something right, and at the end of the day, they're actually just making it worse. Like, and as you said, people who, even kids up until, like, you said, your young bloke, he's under 15s now. He would know the difference between playing at a under 10 to 15 level compared to being paid $1 million a season
Yeah.
as well. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
common sense is
Right, yeah.
not that common anymore.
I think,
Like,
yeah, it's interesting. Not that I have any in the team this year, but you get some parents who, you know, think their kid's the next Ablett and the next Juddy, and managing those expectations is sometimes challenging, I guess. So, being very
Yeah.
political here because I'm currently
Yeah.
coaching and, you know, have a club, but I think you know, kids just want to. You know, you want them to develop, you want them to become better footballers, but if they're not having fun, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, at the end of the day, it's about playing footy with their mates.
Yeah.
And if they're not
Yep.
putting that first and foremost, then they're doing it wrong. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, we've at our top division, you know, there's some very good kids in that team, and you know, some academy kids. You know, they're in the Lions Academy, and they may make it, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a tiny percentage. I think my oldest boy, when he was in under 14, so just over 10 years ago, he played with a kid that went on to get drafted by the Lions, and when he was in under 15s, he would absolutely dominate. And I mean, he'd kick 50, they'd play him in the ruck, he'd just tap to himself, and off he was just, you know, couldn't be stopped. And then
Yeah.
the higher he got, obviously, the more challenging it was, and I think he only ended up playing maybe 3 or 4 games, I think, maybe 5 games,
Yeah.
and then got delisted. So, you know, the shift in terms of how many of these kids are actually going to make it. So, therefore, it's just got to be about fun and not
Yeah,
focus
that's right.
on that professional
Absolutely.
side. But
I had a quick question for you because you're a coach and you're in the under 15s, which is perfect because my niece is under 15s.
Yeah, more beers, mate. So you can have
She's
a
in under 15s, and she I went and watched the grand final last year, and after the game, I said to her, like, they won, and after the game, I said to her, "Are you allowed hip and shoulder anymore?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, but we don't really do it that much I'm like, there were so many opportunities you could have hip and shouldered, but no one hip and shouldered. So, do you guys coach hip and shoulder still, or is
Yep.
hip and shoulders being taken out of the game?
No, it's fine. Obviously, you have to sort of look out for head contact. Like, you never, whenever they go to the bump, they're taking the risk. But funny enough, I saw my ruckman absolutely shirt-fronted someone on the weekend, and no whistle. I thought, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
So poor kid went down. He stayed down for a bit, but it was game was on the line. But so I think it's just protecting the head. So bump on bump, no issues at all. But I think there's I watch a bit of. I was the skills and skills development coach for the girls last year, and as well as coaching the boys, and very, very different game. Very different game. So in a lot of ways, it can be a much rougher game.
Yeah.
The girls, because much of the ball is uncontested.
Mm-hmm.
So mountains of uncontested ball. They just obviously don't necessarily have the ability to hit the targets in the same way.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of tumble, a lot of getting in amongst it. But the idea of lining someone up, that's not really in their nature. And I think there's only be a handful of girls that say, I feel comfortable doing that, knowing that it could potentially hurt someone.
Yeah.
And whereas the boys, no, if they see it, they don't miss, most of them. And so there's a couple of them. I'd say some big boys. I'd hate to be on the end of some of them, but it's not something to coach. If anything, we coach. So there's a drill where I'll roll a ground ball, and the boys will have pads. So people have big pads either side, and they've got to bust through with the ball into a tackle. Yeah. So it's more about hitting contests hard than particularly ironing anyone out, I guess, if that makes sense. So
yes,
to teach them that the best thing you teach them is it doesn't actually hurt that much. Yeah. And the only time it really hurts is when you go half-assed into the contest. I think you're a lot more at risk of getting hurt if you're just sort of half into it, because if you're half into it, I can guarantee you someone's fully into it. And going to, so I think that's probably the thing that we coach the most, but
Well, there's a difference between looking for contact to hurt and making the ball the priority.
Yeah, exactly.
And being tough over the ball and strong over the ball, which I think I
agree with that.
It's more important as well.
So much is about balance. If you've got a really good core and you're balanced, it's very easy to sort of just nudge and they're gone and the ball's yours.
That's right. Yeah,
so I think that's
practice your body on body contact and the right way. Like, I was trying to teach my niece, because she's a defender, and I said, because I've been a forward most of my life, and we were just down the park the other day, and we're kicking the footy, and we're playing marks up, and every time she'd move to a certain side, I'm like, I'm going to mark the ball here, and I'd mark it. She's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, because you're in the wrong spot. You're not meant to be here, because when she'd stand next to me, I'm like, don't stand next to me, or don't stand in front of me, because I can nudge you, I can push you, I can do random things to get you out of the way. Stand in the spot where you can punch the ball, and don't stand where I can put my hand down, where your hand that you're going to punch the ball is down, so you can't punch the ball with that hand. You're going to try and punch this one, and I can easily just take a mark. And I was trying to teach her how to nudge people off the ball and all that sort of stuff without giving away a free kick.
If you message me later, I'll send you a technique I teach my defenders. I got one of the kids that plays for me. His dad was playing. He still plays state masters. Yeah. And I showed his boy this little technique, and then he's like, "Oh, I've never seen that before." The dad, and I'm like, "Oh, well, get your kid to try it," and just shifted him. So it's called a leg under leg, where if you put it under and then you sort of just twist your body, it just makes you're in front. You're over there now. Yeah, and the ball's yours. So and it takes very little effort. It's just a momentum shift, and good little trick. It's tricky because you teach kids and then they spend half their time looking to make sure their foot's in the right spot. But once it becomes second nature, you can move someone much bigger than you. So good little technique.
They use the hands on the hips as well.
Yeah.
You stand next to your opponent, you put your hands around onto their hips, and you can manipulate which way their hips go, so they can't run, they can't jump, and you move them out of position by pressing their hips in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you're bumping, there's really nothing wrong with just going. You look like you're just pushing with the chest, but you're really just shoving a thumb right up their armpit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's old school.
Finish that though, man. That'd be bad.
Yeah, that's old school shit.
Yeah, thumb under the armpit. Oh, the amount of times, mate, I got bloody pinched and bitten. Full backs, man. Full backs. They're just shocking.
Yeah.
So,
Bit like playing on Simon Baker back in the day.
Yeah.
Simon Baker? Stephen Baker.
Stephen
Baker. Simon Baker's a fucking actor. He didn't play. Stevie Baker.
It would have been worse.
It would have been fucking... Mentalist.
I don't think it's worse, mate. I feel like you'd come off second best with that one. Yeah. Well, so
Stevie Baker with the punches and jabs and pinches and pokes and...
Yeah. Fucking oath.
Yeah. No, so I guess, it's hard because obviously that there are techniques that you could teach kids that get the job done. And unfortunately, there are still some coaches that do that, which is, a bit frustrating. So, we're in for we got the win on the weekend, won by a goal. So it came three goals down at 3/4 time and they managed to kick 4 in about 5 minutes and then kicked
pretty good.
One more and they managed to get one back. So we had to sort of got within a goal, and it was a bit tense for a few minutes, but we managed to get there. So, made up. It was a 2-point loss the week before. So it's only first 2 rounds of the season. So it was an absolute mud pit the first week. It was just shocking, man. Every kid was just covered. Yeah. And it was shocking. They had to bring in the wings by about 10 meters because it was just
Jesus.
Mud. But and this week we're in for a tough one, mate. We're down at Beanley, and they breed them big down there. So it's
Beanley.
I think few of those kids bloody drive themselves to the game. So it's
yeah, I was gonna say, fucking, I'll be checking IDs when you walk in.
And they're bloody but they're a good club, a little club, and they sort of have one team per division, so one team per age group.
Yeah.
So and what that means is that sometimes a fairly decent chasm between the top 6 and bottom 6 in that team because, like the top 6 by all rights should probably be playing a high division, but they've only got one. So, but that's all right. So we'll get out there on bloody Mother's Day, which is, a bit of fun. Always playing Mother's Day on a Sunday. So the mums love it.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Yeah. Nothing better than giving up your day to go and watch your kid play footy.
My lads' team, they're like, the other week, they're like, if any of the parents can help out coaching next week, be much appreciated. And I'm like, I'll give his hand. And my son's like so happy, and I'm like, I don't know what you're happy about, mate. You don't know what's going to happen. They're going to be like, don't ever come back again.
Fucking hit him. So you've done it? You did it on the...
it's coming up tomorrow. When we do it tomorrow night. Doing it tomorrow night, and I'll give him a hand. And,
you'll be fine, mate.
I'll be right. I'll be like, this is... I'll be like all the other kids. Oh no, that's all right, mate. And my son will come and do something like, what are you doing? Come on, mate. Live your game.
No special treatment.
Yeah.
The good thing about 15s, you can drop the odd F-bomb for effect, So it works. I don't have to filter myself as much, but you still have to filter yourself. But but honestly, if it's something you boys get the opportunity to do, I could not recommend it more. As I say, it's equally as frustrating as rewarding, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and when it comes good, just for these, it's like on the weekend. We played 2 quarters all right. We're fucking hopeless in the third quarter, and they got 3 goals up, and then just for 15-minute quarters, and for 12 of those minutes, we just played perfect footy. Yeah. And it was, it was just something. Just gives me hope. It's like that perfect golf shot,
Oh yeah.
You get one, you think, fuck, if I do this enough, I could get good. But it's a fucking lie. You never will. But that one shot's enough to make you go and play the next time. And
it's like going, yes, fucking. I have to play golf a lot. Fucking 17 holes in a row. I've been across the fairway, in the bunker, 3 balls in the water. But if I can par that last hole, I'm like, I'm coming back. This game is for me. This is the best
I can
game
do this.
ever invented.
If I do this enough, I'm going to be all right. I think you're all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Not to mention,
sounds like fucking Rocket League.
Oh,
I was about to say that. Also, on a happy note, Collingwood lost on the weekend.
yeah, that's always good.
The only reason I hate him is because I have people that I know that are just absolute fucking.
I think everyone
losers
has
that
people
them.
that they know they go for Collingwood that they absolutely dislike.
Yes. It's most of them when they're up and about. 'Cause
Oh,
they're just fucking
yeah, when
arrogant.
they're up and
cunts.
about.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I fucking hate it, but I don't think you're going to lose this week, mate. So I think they're going to be all right.
Who are they playing this week?
They're playing.
Who they got this week?
The Fremantle Flag Mantle.
Fuck,
So-
floggers.
In
That'll
Perth,
be
in
a-
Perth, so
Fremantle
That'll be
floggers.
a-
Oh, let's
that'll be a
let's
pace
end
thing.
on who our teams are playing this week.
Oh, we got the showdown.
Oh, showdown! Ooh yeah, baby.
yeah.
So we'll get flogged by about fucking 15 goals. They're playing
Crows
fucking good
always
footy.
turn up. They are playing
sweet.
good footy.
They're playing good footy though. Like, they got a fucking good team
Yeah,
on paper.
on
and
paper.
it's now on the field.
On paper, they have always had for the last 3 years. They've had fucking a good team on paper.
All those young players are just
Yeah.
reaching that next bit.
Philthorpe's come back and he's like a giant, mate.
He's a
So-
fucking beast of
How
a man.
big is that guy?
Like,
Jesus,
it's like Charlie Dixon's going back 15
that's
years. and
exactly what I thought.
come in. He's not
You
the same
call it
fucking
speed.
build.
He's just had that Ben Cousins glow up, mate. He's
Yep.
just fucking bulked
Yep.
out. So he's a massive unit.
Check
so-
him, give him a blood test, see if he's on fucking coke or something.
But he looks like he's spending his days fucking chopping trees, mate, not chopping lines. So
Oh, he could be chopping lines. Yeah, you never know.
I reckon the Lions might be all right. It's,
They should beat North Melbourne.
Got that covered, I
Good
reckon.
chance.
they're
Good
playing
chance.
playing at Ninja Stadium in Hobart. Ninja Stadium.
Ninja
so
Stadium. What
they
the
wanna
hell
see-
is
okay.
that?
Gonna be fast.
Hell.
The one thing about the Lions is
Weird.
they seem to win by a good margin against the top 8, but some of the games that they should be cleaning
Yeah,
up,
take the foot off the pedal
They
a little
can
bit.
find
they get
themselves
complacent a little bit.
lowering themselves to the team
Yeah.
they're playing with. So that's a
Yeah,
good
and it's
place
going to
be.
hurt them. Like
Yeah.
on top of the ladder's fine, but if you, the complacency. I've spoken to a few Brisbane fans this year, and like obviously, you want your team on top of the ladder,
Yeah.
but I think it's one of these years, and you just come from Brisbane fans that have been fans for years and years and know the game better than I do. They're not happy with a lot of their games. Like,
Yeah.
winning is winning, but like it's
How
not
you win.
convincing either.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hate winning ugly. I hate winning tight. And so
It's-
it seems that you should step on the gas. This
Yeah.
plot along
Yeah.
and win by 20
Yes.
points.
Yeah.
Like they, if by all rights, top of the ladder against North, it should be 70, 80
A
points.
white
Should be a
wash.
flogging. Yeah, it should be.
It was a good
flogging.
game against the Suns, though, in a very wet Gabba. The Suns have been going well. I think it's the best year the Suns have had
Yeah,
since they've
Suns
been in the
have,
comp.
Suns have finally hit their straps. They've got.
But again, well,
Was it Hardwick?
They-
Hardwick's the coach.
Hardwick, yeah. Good young
Good coach.
midfield.
Yeah,
they beat
they're,
Adelaide. You could argue that they probably shouldn't have, given that free kick wasn't paid. But I think,
Yeah.
but beyond that, they haven't really played anyone good. And I think, but I think they've got a nucleus of something really special. I think they've actually finally got it together. But
Yeah.
their midfield was completely shown up by Brisbane on the weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
true.
just it's still men and boys, and
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So
I think
that's
as a Sun, like if you're a Suns fan, since they've been in the competition, you could say this is probably the most optimistic their fans have been
Yeah.
as far as like being. I mean, what are they sitting 4th or 5th
fourth. I think fourth.
at the moment?
Yeah.
Like,
Had they won, they would have been top of the ladder. So
yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
That'd
That's
been
how
unreal.
close it is too.
Yeah.
And just on that, the Cowboys play the reigning premiers. So
Sorry, who?
Not fucking looking forward to that.
who's playing what?
Oh, the Cowboys play the Panthers in the other code.
Cowboys and Okay, yep.
And Panthers, yeah. Which Panthers are on? I think they're in second last or third last. There's no reason why we should win that.
Wow.
But fucking
Who's last? Titans.
no, I think the Eels are.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't know what man.
Fucking
Honestly, I had this
awesome.
conversation the
Go
other
down
night. I think Desi needs to go. He dropped fucking AJ Brinson to.
I think that the team just
So you
needs to
can't-
fucking collapse and just Be done. Be done with it.
The Reds,
Walk
the
away.
Reds coming, mate, or the Bears, whatever they're fucking called. So,
Oh, the Bears are coming to Perth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
do you remember the Western Reds? I went,
Yeah.
yeah.
The what
Went to
was
see-
the Adelaide Rams? That's what they were.
Rams.
Fucking Adelaide Rams. Let's go.
I had the Western Reds. I think Mark Guy was their fucking marquee signing, and we used to, go and they used to play at the Wacker. Which is
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, the
That ground-
Wacker. That's a-
that thing's like fucking concrete, that ground. So
Mm.
that would have, go and play
So-
on bloody playing an AstroTurf. So, it's,
Yes.
So
yeah,
who Carlton got this week?
Carlton got the Saints, mate.
The
Which
Saints.
is,
Ooh,
um,
that's a
Oh, that's an
that's
interesting
anything
game.
That's
look,
that could go anywhere.
Well, hilariously, we're fucking below them on the ladder. So that's probably says all you need to know about Carlton at the moment. So that's
That'd be a good game actually. That'd be a pretty good game to watch.
it's at the G too. I think they're
At the
expecting
G.
a decent crowd, but it's a Saints home game. But just like when we play Melbourne, we have 20 times the support there. So
Yeah.
Saints are just doing that at the G so they can make some money from all the Carlton fucking fans buying tickets. So it's,
Yes.
yeah, but look,
Oh, you Saints.
yeah, I won't get to yeah. Anyway, it's we're fucking shit. We're not going well, and there's really no considering that for the last couple of years I've actually dared to fucking dream, and like every Carlton supporter, you've dared to dream
Yeah.
that maybe this year could be the year, and it's done unless they have a pretty decent turnaround. Where are we? Well, they're 3-5, so. Yeah, and we're a third of the way through, so it's not going to be enough unless they start winning some fucking games.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
not looking good.
we get the benefit of North Melbourne and West Coast twice, and
Oh
we still
wow.
can't make it work. So
That's unreal.
yeah, I know, just handing it to us, we're still
Jesus
fucking up.
Christ.
So it's but it's I think the window's shut. When you see Hawthorn coming through the way they are, Western Bulldogs are on the way back. There's just so many that are just sort of. Yeah, I think our window was a couple of years ago, made the preliminary, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
Unless, if you love your footy and you follow it, you look at it and go, well, we have no plan. Like, we just, I love Vossi, but I'm not sure what the plan is. It's,
Yeah.
you can't,
All right, as a Port Adelaide supporter, I fully understand that. We've been saying that for 11 years.
you're just relying on the individual talent. You're just relying on the individual talent of players where,
Yep.
you can look at St Kilda and go, yeah, they're fucking boring, but at least you know what Ross Lyon stands for. He plays a really defensive game, and it's all about, and same with Freo, they play a possession game, lots of marks and lots of boring as shit, but at least you know what they do.
Yeah.
And obviously Adelaide have decided to play a breakneck game, and they're relying on three big forwards to get it into.
Yeah.
And, and it's working, so Hawthorn,
No, that's right.
love them or hate them.
That's the issue when you
Yeah.
play a game plan that is catered to the personnel that you've got, and you have to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get injuries and blah, 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 that now changes the dynamic of the game plan. Whereas
Yeah.
I remember Hawthorn back in the day when they went through their best period, they were they had a lot of injuries during those successful years, but they were the one soldier down, one soldier in mentality.
Yeah.
And the game plan didn't change because they were all playing a role.
Yep.
And one goes
They all
out, one
bought
comes
in.
in.
They all bought
and
into it.
fills the role.
Yep.
Well, we've just worried ourselves out of it. At our best, we played this run and gun, cut through the middle, just, play on a lot, big clearance winners. And then what happens is we get a decent lead and then we start shitting ourselves and going to our shell and we're pushing it wide and turning it over. We don't have the foot skills to sort of slow the game down.
Yeah.
And we're just better off just going breakneck the entire time. And, whatever happens, happens. So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. So, yeah, hopefully, I have a better conversation after Friday night. But,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that'd be good. And we can
I do appreciate
hopefully we can end the conversation nicely on Sunday when hopefully the Eagles get their first win, which I doubt it. But
What do we got?
What are you hoping for?
Anything can
if
happen,
they
really.
lose this game, they 100% will not win a game all year because
You haven't played
he's
North
not
yet.
coming back. Because I feel like after the surgery, they're going to come out and they're going to be like, he's out for the season. And there's no one coming back. There's no one coming in. Like, Bring in the Samoan Warrior. Fucking bring in everyone. Just let it play everyone. Just fucking let's go.
Fucking
I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Or something. We're a bit worried about Brisbane. It's 4:40 on a Sunday in Hobart, and it's a bit fucking nippy. It gets a wee bit nippy down there. I think it might be a bit windy.
Cold weather could upset them.
Well, it's what is it? Still 25 degrees every day.
Yeah, fucking North Melbourne play good there too.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, well, they're a bit more used to it than
a bit
what
breezy.
Brisbane we used to.
Yeah, a bit breezy. So yeah,
Interesting game. I mean, truth be told, if first is losing to fucking second last, regardless of the weather, they need to really look themselves after that.
just getting there.
Like,
Full of
I was saying,
mirrors,
first-
good hard
it's
looking
good to
at
be
it.
first.
I remember the Eagles fucking first and playing bloody. I reckon we're playing. It was Collingwood. They were last at the time, and they beat us. It's like, yeah, beauty.
But
Things happen,
it
right?
does happen. Like, all it takes is, like, you know, especially in the NRL, like, the Titans, right? Fucking, on paper, they should be winning more games than they should.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use it as an excuse as an example for the Cowboys game. Even though the Cowboys beat them convincingly, they were 18-0 in the first half.
Yep.
All it takes is a team who have a good side on paper to string that full game together, and they can upset anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's usually when it does happen, it's fucking against my team. You watch it this weekend.
Oh yeah, man. Carlton's a great team to play to fucking get you back in form. Sorry about that. You know? Teams out of form, play Carlton. We'll fucking sort that right out, mate. We'll get that win for you. Get you on your way. So,
Yeah, right back into it. You'll be right.
we like to bloody good luck chuck a fucking football team. So you know, it's yeah. All right, boys.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
That was good.
We are 100% looking forward to your sources that are coming out real soon. We're all
Bloody
looking
oath.
forward to.
Special sauce.
Love having you on.
No, appreciate
Again?
it, man. Anytime, boys. I'd love to do it again.
Yes, we
Bloody oath.
Absolutely.
We'll,
we'll have
go
an AFL
just
update
past halfway
down the track.
halfway through
Bye,
the year.
boys. Yeah.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll catch you in the next episode. See you guys.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bearded Mafia Podcast, yo, it's raw. Rob, man, Ryan taking over